Millions of people proudly lock their life savings inside a traditional bank account every single week. Even though every piece of historical data proves that holding paper currency is a guaranteed way to mathematically lose your wealth. So why does the habit of endlessly saving money never disappear? Picture a perfectly normal Friday afternoon. Your direct deposit clears, you pay your rent, you clear your credit card, and you meticulously transfer $500 directly into your savings account. You look at that glowing green number on your screen and you feel a profound sense of pride. You skipped the expensive dinners, you avoided the flashy car, you are doing exactly what society, your parents, and every traditional financial advisor told you to do. You feel incredibly responsible. But a brilliant, entirely invisible trap has just been executed right in front of you. You think you are building an impenetrable financial fortress, but actually, you're just providing cheap ammunition for someone else's empire. To understand how this trap works, you have to ask yourself one very uncomfortable question. What does the bank actually do with your money when you log off? We are taught from childhood that a bank is a digital locker. We imagine our money sitting perfectly still in a dark, highly secure vault waiting patiently for a rainy day. But a bank is not a storage facility. It is a highly aggressive, deeply calculated business, and their entire business model operates on a hidden mechanism. To put it simply, they operate on the spread. Fast forward to the end of the year. You open your annual bank statement. You see that your responsible savings earned you exactly $40 in interest. You feel a little disappointed, but you accept it as the cost of keeping your money safe. Then, you open your mortgage statement. You see that you paid the exact same bank $15,000 in interest just for the privilege of living in your own home. But where did the bank get the $500,000 to lend you for that house? They did not print it. They didn't pull it from a secret corporate reserve. They took it directly from the savings accounts of other responsible people just like you. When you deposit your hard-earned money for a microscopic 1% yield, the bank does not protect it. They instantly turn around and lend your exact funds back out to the public. They lend it for mortgages at 7%. They lend it for auto loans at 10%. They lend it for credit cards at 24%. You absorb 100% of the inflationary risk by holding a depreciating paper currency, while the institution legally leverages your life's labor to generate record-breaking profits. Most people disagree about this. If you ask traditional financial experts, they will fiercely defend savings accounts as the ultimate hallmark of a mature adult. They argue that absolute liquidity is worth the hidden cost. Some economists argue the exact opposite. They claim that modern banking is just a massive legalized arbitrage scheme and that the middle class is being quietly farmed for cheap leverage. Here's where people are split. Is saving money a moral virtue or is it a psychological cage? People don't make bad money decisions. They respond to the environment around them, and your environment aggressively applauds you for hoarding cash. Society praises you for being a diligent saver, but the system desperately needs you to believe that holding cash is a virtue because they fundamentally rely on your financial illiteracy to source the nearly free capital they use to make themselves unimaginably wealthy. They need you to be terrified of investing. They need you to view the stock market as a dangerous casino and real estate as far too complex for everyday people. Because if an educated, financially sovereign population woke up tomorrow and used their cash to buy real assets, the bank's supply of cheap leverage would instantly vanish. The entire system would collapse. Look at your cash from a completely different economic position. To you, a savings account is a safety net. It is your ultimate peace of mind. But to the ultra-wealthy, your savings account is their borrowing power. The wealthy do not hoard cash. They know that cash is meant to be a temporary vehicle for transactions, not a permanent storage facility for your life's energy. So they only hold enough liquid currency to cover immediate operational needs. They ruthlessly deploy every other dollar into assets that outpace the speed of currency printing. They buy cash-flowing real estate, dividend-yielding equities, and scalable businesses. They force their money to work 24 hours a day without ever requiring healthcare or a corporate human resources department. And ironically, they borrow the exact money you saved, use it to buy these assets, and let inflation quietly melt away their debt while it violently incinerates your purchasing power. The biggest financial advantage isn't intelligence, it's which game you're playing. The middle class is playing a game of accumulation. They want the highest score on a screen that is mathematically programmed to lose its real-world value over time. They want to feel safe today, even if it guarantees they will be poorer tomorrow. The ultra-wealthy are playing a game of velocity. They want to decouple their income from their human output and own the systems that society cannot live without. Let's slowly reveal the invisible forces holding this entire machine together. The incentives of the global banking system are meticulously designed to pay you just enough interest to keep you from withdrawing your money, but never enough to actually beat the cost of living. The structures of the modern economy dictate that wages will always grow slower than asset prices. This creates a beautifully engineered gap that forces you to rely on their credit cards and their loans just to survive. The social pressures of your peers convince you that being debt-free with a massive savings account makes you superior, completely blinding you to the fact that you are simply bleeding out in slow motion. And the probabilities dictate a ruthless, undeniable truth. If you leave your life's energy parked in fiat currency, it will mathematically trend towards zero. The people who saved themselves into poverty did not fail the system. They followed the system perfectly. They did exactly what the economy required them to do. They became highly compliant, perfectly fearful providers of cheap liquidity. They absorbed the inflation, they provided the leverage, and they funded the loans that built the modern world. Wealth is often less about effort and more about position. If you position your wealth inside a traditional bank account, your effort will constantly be dictated by the hand that holds the ledger. You will spend decades playing it safe, completely unaware that your caution is the exact fuel powering someone else's freedom. The bank system does not want to violently steal your money in the middle of the night. That would cause a panic. It simply wants to rent your money from you for pennies and sell it back to you for a fortune. You can keep playing the game of extreme caution. You can keep hoarding the paper, chasing a feeling of safety that remains permanently out of reach. Or you can finally recognize the illusion. Your bank account is not a vault. It is a supply line. The only question is whose empire you're choosing to indefinitely fund.